not a game, it's a rich thing.
What's up, y'all? It is Tasha. I am back with another video. I'm gonna give a disclaimer right here in the beginning. I am not shirtless. I have on a little tube top under this, but as soon as I hit record, I was like, oh, it's looking like I don't have any clothes on. I do have clothes on. But welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping in. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are not already done so. Y'all can see by the title, we're here to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, child. So I put up a poll the other day because Love and Marriage Huntsville just wasn't something I was watching back in the day when it first came out. And then I was like, you know what? I need to see what it's all about. So I started from season 1 and I am now all caught up to the current episodes. And child, I needed to talk to somebody about this show because this show, it's a mess, especially with everything so fresh because I've just watched everything from season 1. It's like, girl, these people are a complete mess, okay? So I'm not going to call this a review per se. I'm going to call this more of a little chit chat situation because I'm not going to give a play-by-play. I feel like the episode this week, the scenes were very long and it didn't give a ton of information, but it wasn't a whole bunch of moving pieces when we're talking about, you know, things moving and shaking with the group and everybody else to see what's going on. It just wasn't giving a whole lot in my opinion. So we just gonna kind of summarize what happened and then talk about that, y'all, because of course I have thoughts as I always do. Okay. So the episode opens, they're still debating with Tiffany if she wants to call 911, if she wants to go to the hospital. And I am confused because as Stormy goes to get Kimmy, because of course Kimmy's a nurse, but Kimmy's not a nurse in this very moment that she's at this baby shower. I am Kimmy and Kimmy is me. Why are we still asking her if we want to call 911? Why are we still giving her an option as to if she needs to go to the hospital? She needs to go to the hospital. Like, why are y'all asking her? Why are y'all giving her water? Why are y'all trying to turn off the lights and close the door? Take her ass to the hospital. She is pregnant. I don't understand. So when Bigelow finally just picks her up and takes her to the car while Stormy is in the midst of calling 911, I'm like, y'all should have done that anyway. Okay, so I didn't understand that, but anyway, she goes off to the hospital to see what's wrong. We didn't see Marceau and Tisha. They break ground on some project. It's a big deal. They wanted pictures, blah, blah, blah. We see that Mel meets with her lawyer and she's meeting with him because she wants to go back to using her, go back to her maiden name and get rid of Holt. Her lawyer lets her know that in, the United States, if you currently have any type of active case open, you basically can't do anything else. So while there's really nobody to contest her changing her name back to her maiden name from Holt, she can't even do that because of the whole custody case that Martell has with her right now. And I'm like, I can't believe this man has not even dropped this case at this point because I 1000% believe he did it only to just be spiteful with her and to be super petty. And let's be honest, she hasn't shown that she's an unfit mother. So the chances of the court, siding with you to give you full custody of these children, Martell, it ain't gonna happen. You wasting everybody's money and you wasting the court's time with this BS, okay? So we then see Martell meet with this suit guy because he wants to get into the business of designing suits and selling suits. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. Martell knows how to wear a suit, okay? This man can wear a suit. The only thing is the person wearing the suit is still trash. But if you don't know that, you can just look at him and say, he's a decent looking man wearing a badass suit. But because we've seen him season after season after season after season and on the internet be trash, you can't dress up a pig and then tell me it's a unicorn. I'm just saying, I'm not buying it, but do your thing, Martell. I mean, this man says at least $100,000 to start it up. You tried to act like that was no big deal, but I really think you in the inside was like, ugh, where I'm gonna get the kind of money from? Because, things is looking a little slow around here. I still ain't got these, builder's license or whatever he needs to get that he keeps failing the test for. Where you gonna get $100,000 from, Martell? I don't know if I'm paying them kind of bucks, but that ain't my business, okay? So then we see Lou and Tiffany, they talk. She's of course home. She's in the bed. She is kind of resting, drinking water on the computer. She's telling Lou about this one last business trip that she has coming up. And Lou is looking at her like, didn't the doctor just say you need to start slowing down and you need to be resting and drinking more water? And she's like, yes, but it's just one more trip. Like we can't slow down. We got to keep going. Tiffany, how selfish can you be? You are talking about not only your life, but the life of your child. Lou starts to get very emotional, and even in the midst of Lou getting very emotional, of feeling like basically he was out of control in that situation, he really didn't know what to do. To see her in that condition was very scary for him. Like, this man is in tears telling her, and she's still like, I'm so sorry I put you through that, but we gonna make this one last trip happen. Girl, Tiffany, you work my nerves, okay? Especially because this whole situation that was started with him having to talk to Marceau and Martell about what you said about Sheree, all that couldn't have happened because, like your husband has said, sometimes you say things that are not appropriate, especially to people who do not know you, ma'am. And you gonna do better just keeping your mouth shut, because you just gonna go back to Lou, and Lou should not have to fight these battles that would not be an issue if you just shut up. Just shut up. Stop being messy and just be quiet. And now I feel like you were messy before you were pregnant, but now you really feel like you can say any old thing because ain't nobody gonna get aggressive with the pregnant lady. Tiffany, watch your mouth, and you won't put yourself or Lou in these predicaments going forward, okay? So then we see basically the comeback group meets up, and they're talking about the Black Business Expo that Marceau and Tisha had brought to the group. Essentially, they want to kind of give back to the community, have all these, businesses and people come out, tell the community about what's happening, do panels and all that. However, they don't want to have to pay any of the comeback group members, although this isn't a comeback group event. This is something that Marceau and Tisha wants to put on, and then they want the rest of the group to come in and volunteer their knowledge and their time. I hear you, girl, but for somebody, like Mel, who actually gets paid, and I'm sure she gets paid very well to speak at different places, this is a business, okay? She brought up at the last meeting for y'all to maybe get sponsorships. And then this meeting, y'all come back up, yeah, we thought about it and we're going to look into getting sponsors. However, we're still not going to use any of that sponsorship money to pay y'all. Whatever money we get back from the sponsorship is going to go back into the community. That is a lie. I don't believe for 1 second that if they got sponsors, that Marceau and Tisha would not be pocketing some of that money themselves and leaving everybody else high and dry and saying thank you for your time. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it, okay? So even before they get into that, Kimmy and Mel is there. They're talking. Kimmy tries to get nosy with Mel, and it's like, ooh, I saw the pictures. You was with a man. You got a boyfriend. And Mel just keeps diverting the conversation because she's like, that ain't your business. If I don't want to talk about it, I'm not going to talk about it. And I'm here for it, okay? I didn't feel no kind of way. And I also want to note that when everybody else came into the meeting and Martell came in, and for Mel to just kind of give him a dry hi, like, of course, no hug, no handshake, none of that. And he felt some kind of way, and being his narcissist self, he's acting like she's the one that's being childish. No, Martell, that's called setting a boundary and being firm in the boundary that you have set with yourself and others. That's what Mel has doing. That's what Mel did. And I don't see anything wrong with what she did. As you guys get further away and you're less removed from everything that's going on and everything gets settled in the courts, I'm sure you guys can go back to being cordial. Y'all did an amazing job with the kids when y'all went to that trip in Florida. So it can get there, but I don't really understand why, because she would not behave in the manner that you want her to. That is her being childish and not her respecting her own boundary that she has put in place because of you. Take some accountability, sir. Take some accountability. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, the episode basically wraps up with Kimmy being on their necks. And I was here for Kimmy being on their necks because Kimmy is like, what y'all are describing to us is basically what the comeback group wanted to do. And y'all have basically just put an under new management sign on top of the comeback group. And now you're presenting this as the Black Business Expo. Of course, y'all know Maurice. He's going to do the Scott talk as the Scott brothers always do. Say a whole lot of words, really don't say a whole lot of nothing, but he thinks that, you know, none of them should get paid. I think Kimmy feels differently, but she not gonna go against her man. She gonna stick beside him in this point. I did appreciate Martell kind of being the backup for Mel of Mel does this and she gets paid for this. Y'all didn't even ask. Y'all just said nobody's getting paid, but not even asking about rates and things like that and letting people present you with something and then you saying no. And if it's no, it is no. You can't fault these people for not wanting to give away their time and their knowledge for free. It is what it is. Tisha, you can say all you want of, oh, we have all these businesses and the community pours into us, so this is our chance to give back to the community. Great. If you want to do that, great. And if I want to get paid 5 stacks for doing that, that's my business. And if you say no, it's also my business to say I then don't want to be involved with whatever this project is that y'all are doing and moving forward all by my lonesome. Like, y'all are really trying to come out here playing a guilt trip with Marceau saying, I think anybody who wants to get paid from this, it's nothing other than greed. Greed? Really? How about it's just somebody wanting to be compensated for their time? That's all it is. And if somebody doesn't want to do that, you should not try to make them feel bad that they should give away that type of thing for free when they would get paid for it. And they're basically then trying to act like, oh, well, we can basically barter services. You know, the next time y'all have something, y'all do anything, we'll sponsor or we'll, you know, collaborate or we'll help or whatever it is. And like Mel said, no. The track record has not shown that we will be supportive of one another. And right now, Marceau, we really don't believe you. And you can say anything to get us to be on board now. And then your event will be over. And then when we have things coming down the pipe and you decide you don't want to be involved or you don't want to do it, you're not out of anything because your event has been over and done with and they have participated as they said they should, child. This is a whole mess, and Marceau and Tisha really tear my nerves up. But I'm just going to reserve my thoughts for future episodes as we continue to see how this play out, because it definitely looks like next week we're going to still be at the same table, still talking about it. And maybe I'll come back with like a legit review next week. But, you know, this time I just kind of want to get my toe wet and get my toe in there with Love and Marriage Huntsville, because I have heard, child, the fans can be a little bit vicious. But, you know, it's all right. We all have our opinions. Just be respectful of one another, and we should be all good down in the comment section, y'all. But let me know what y'all thought about this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.